Please welcome, representing the New York State Assembly, Assembly Speaker Sheldon Silver.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Ringler, Governor Pataki, Senator Bruno, members of the clergy, Commissioner Novello, my colleagues in the legislature, and especially Assemblyman Bob Sweeney, who helped make this day happen, family and friends of the deceased, and distinguished members of the emergency medical services, ladies and gentlemen, to the families and friends of the men and women we honor today, and to their brothers and sisters in the emergency medical services. Let me say on behalf of the entire New York State Assembly that you have our utmost respect and our profound gratitude. I did not have the privilege of meeting the men and the women whose names grace this memorial. As the Assemblyman who represents Ground Zero, and having seen the remains of an ambulance that lay crushed beneath the debris of the World Trade Center towers, an ambulance of a volunteer ambulance corps that had been donated and dedicated in memory of my parents and bore their names, I know in my heart the kind of people we are talking about who serve in emergency medical services. To run toward while the world is running away, to see what they see and hear what they hear, to be able to act effectively with skill, speed, and compassion in moments of pressure and fear that would incapacitate others. These brave men and women can only have been extraordinary. They took their final call as they took their first, without hesitation. They demanded no titles, no monuments, no pledge upon the prompt surrender of their lives. They asked for nothing and gave everything. Even the word extraordinary fails to do justice to these brave caregivers. I've heard it said that people who choose a career in emergency services choose risk, and that they trained to handle it. That may be so, but having been in Lower Manhattan on September 11th, I know this to be true as well. It is one thing to be trained to handle crisis. It is another thing entirely to charge into a war zone, unsure whether more attacks were coming, and to hang in there in the darkness and smoke, fighting to preserve life, while two of the tallest buildings ever erected are thundering down upon you. There is no training for that. There are only incredibly brave hearts and magnificently valorous acts. Bravery, valor, that, my friends, is what makes the difference in this world. That is what always makes a difference. Let me make one more thing very clear. The men and women whose names are carved into this memorial did not become heroes the moment they surrendered their lives. They became heroes the day they volunteered and put on the uniform. That choice to serve us and the sacrifices they made in the line of that duty have secured for these heroes a permanent place in our hearts and in the pantheon of the greatest New Yorkers who have ever lived. The gifted American author Carl Sandburg once suggested that valor is a gift to the families and friends of the emergency medical personnel that we honor today. We thank you for the priceless gifts your loved ones have given us. May God bless these brave souls and their loved ones. May God bless all emergency service personnel and their families. May God bless all of you who are here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.